Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of episode 10 of Handy at the Shandy Las Vegas podcast. I'm Adam the Fraud, joined by Table, James Games, and Boring Jack. We promised between part 1 and part 2, we tried to perk them up a little bit, get them a bit more excited. I think speaking about future plans for Vegas is going to help. So in this hour, we're going to be talking about our tentative plans for the big Formula One weekend. James, you said you wanted to tease some items you're going to be bringing. I hope it's a little nub, but maybe some other things as well.
It might be a little nub. We have at least 2, maybe 3 things in the works that Kim and I are creating and hoping to bring. So if there's anyone who's going to be out there who's listening, come and find us, and I might have a gift for you.
This feels like you're making it up on the fly. I'm not going to lie.
Maybe I'm not.
Like Michael Scott planning a party about something.
No, definitely not. I mean, Kim and I are so excited. We're so excited to come on out. We don't know anything about F1, by the way. Like legitimately, when everyone a couple years ago was like, oh man, F1's coming to Vegas, I was like, I don't know what that is. And I follow a decent amount of sports, but I just never really got into any sort of racing. So I've been trying to learn a little bit, but I still don't know much. And what Kim has decided to do is watch last season of the Netflix like docu-series or something. I don't know what it is.
Drive to Survive, yeah.
Sure. She's really excited because she says that it's filmed kind of like a reality TV show, and she's getting all into the drama. She doesn't even care about the actual racing. She's like, ooh, that person was accused of this, and ooh, these people are fighting. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. So I want you, Adam, as our resident F1 expert to tell me what are some main things I should know. And also, my fandom is up for sale. If anyone out there is like, no, James, this is who you should be rooting for. I did ask people, as a New York Mets fan and a Penn State sports fan, I said, are there any teams that are always supposed to do well, or drivers, whatever they're called, that are supposed to do well, but never do? Because maybe that's what I should do just to go along with my other allegiances. But Adam, tell me something.
Well, the winds of F1 change all the time. And I want to be very clear here. I started getting into F1 in like 2010, well before the Netflix thing. So people see like, oh, an American who likes F1, he must have just watched the Netflix show when it came out. That's not true. I had a student who was into F1. They got me into it. And so we didn't watch it together, but they just talked about it in school. So I started getting into it. And so I've been into it for a long time. I will say this. I think one of the common criticisms of like Formula One or any racing really here is like, oh, they just kind of zoom past you and you don't get like a full experience, which is true. Like in terms of like watching something, like it's kind of like football. Like you'd rather watch it on the television. However, these are like engineering masterpieces. And so like at least one time, even if you're just mildly interested in it, to like go there and like feel how fast they're going. I think the top speed ever in Formula One, I think it was done a few years ago. It was like 230 plus miles an hour, around there, 230, 233, something like that. It is actually amazing to see these cars go around these tracks at that speed, taking corners at 70, 80 miles an hour at times. It's just kind of cool. But a lot of it, when you watch it, it's like, I always liken it's like the Big Bang. Like there's a lot that happens right in the first corner. And then things like in the universe kind of settle down and get into kind of like a pattern. So like that first lap is really important. Of course, later laps are too. But again, I go just for just kind of the feel of it. So picking a right spot where you're going to get like some top speed or sitting near the first corner, which is where my buddy Jared and I are going to sit for the actual race, is important. But it's kind of like an engineering thing. If you're into that, you'll kind of be into it. And it's cool to like, it's an event in F1, right? It's like, or in Vegas, like going to one big event in Vegas, like a big boxing match or something like that. It's just kind of fun to experience. I don't think I'll go back anytime soon for Formula One in Vegas, but like it's a really good amalgamation of two things I really enjoy.
And one thing that I understand, and it's different depending on the track or the circuit, the actual race course they're racing on, but that the position where your car starts the race is really important. And so as a result, the qualifying round that happens on Friday on the same track with the same spectators and all that stuff is also really important because it lets you get into a prime position to then just kind of be ahead the whole race. Saturday.
Critically so. And unlike some influencers on Vegas who spouted off nonsense when F1 first went to Vegas, there are things called free practices as well. It doesn't mean it's free to get into, which is what they kind of assumed. It's just kind of a practice where the racers, the teams, are free to kind of practice as they wish, set some time to just kind of see what their pace is like for the weekend, how the tires are reacting, warming up and cooling down around corners and stuff like that. So that's what it is. It can be fun to go to. Again, big race enthusiasts will go to it because, again, you just kind of want to see that. But one thing I'm actually excited about, which has not been talked about a lot, is the Academy races are going. F1 Academy races are going to be held in Vegas that weekend too. The Academy is the all-female championship series, which I'm really glad they're promoting. And they're not racing the same weekend as the Formula One drivers are. They don't do that every weekend. So to have that in Vegas, be able to see that and support that, I'm excited about. So I'll be going to. They've got 2 races. I'm going to try to go to both of them. One on Friday, one on Saturday as well.
Are those during the day?
Those are during the day. They're going to be a couple hours before the qualifying and the actual race. Yep.
Cool. So who do I root for?
Well,
I'm glad that you're a Piastri fan because he's the only guy. He's one of the only guys I've been told to root for.
So I liked McLaren for a while. I liked them when they were a bottom barrel team. This has nothing to do with their partnership with Jack Daniels, but they were not performing up to muster for a long time.
Barrel.
But I still really like them. I'm a big Piastri fan. He's an Australian guy. So I like them, but I also like the Williams team as well because I like their 2 drivers right now. I think they're really talented. They've underperformed. Well, Williams has been underperforming for a long time, but I like them as well. But pick and choose. Watch the Netflix series. See what personalities you like. Mostly really good drivers, good personalities. I've been a big Lewis Hamilton fan. To my knowledge, he's the first black driver who's ever raced in an actual race before. There was a black driver who participated in some weekend activities. I think it's a practice session or 2. But I've been a big Lewis Hamilton fan as well.
So can you gamble on the F1 races?
Absolutely can. I don't think it's easy to beat, but you can bet on race position and stuff like that. I've never seen, as someone who watches all of them, I watch like all the tech talks they do. Like I have the F1 app and I follow pretty much everything. I haven't seen many great opportunities. Occasionally there might be, depending on like race conditions. If the racetrack is wet or dry, it does make a difference. Certain drivers are really good, what they call in the wet. Yeah, I don't think it's too beatable long term, but you absolutely can, and I absolutely will be. That doesn't stop me from betting on something.
I think we've gone over this before. I don't gamble to beat it because then I feel like I have to do work, and I don't want to do work. I want to press little buttons and hope that all the same suit and the same row come up.
Exactly. So pick your favorite color and bet on.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Just put nub to button and hope for the best.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Just hope for the best. All right, so I'll keep people updated. I did get a couple of cool outfits to wear for the weekend, which will be kind of fun, and purchase some actual F1 merch that will be that I think will be good. So I'm excited.
Handy at the Shandy F1 merch. Yes.
Yeah, we're sponsored, I think.
That's right.
We can't say that, can we?
I will say that Disney just released Formula One merch like 2 days ago. And so there's like a hoodie with Mickey on it, with Vegas on it, and with F1 on it. My wife's like, this is like the 3 things that you do for our family. Like this is just you encapsulated. I'm like, probably gonna have to buy this $200 hoodie, I guess.
Yeah, that's Adam's favorite threesome right there.
Yeah. So we had some other questions from people. I said, Marilyn wants to hear about dinner reservations. I think we're going to get to that in our kind of thing here. But also I am requesting from people in the audience to let me know about good mocktails in Vegas if you have them. I'm on my own kind of medicine cocktail right now. I've added a new medicine to the mix that I've already had, which means unfortunately that I can no longer drink. So yeah, I was talking to my psychiatrist and I asked her about the new medicine I'm taking. I said, she's like, this is going to mellow you out. I said, is it going to prevent me from being an asshole? She said, no, that's just who you are. I said, all right, well, that's a bummer. But anyway, but she said, no drinking anymore because everything's just kind of processed in the liver. So if I want to keep my liver for like more than 5 years, I have to stop drinking. So I had my final old fashioned at a steakhouse at my local casino the other night. I made it count before we moved on. But anyway, I know Resorts World has a couple good ones. I especially like their espresso martini mocktail that they have at the High Limit Bar. But I'm with you, Jack. We were messaging in our text thread, and I think one of the big problems is a lot of them are just way too sweet. They overcompensate there. So, if people know of any good bars that have a decent mocktail menu, I'm all ears. Otherwise, I'm just kind of sticking to non-alcoholic beer, which is not the most fun thing either.
I actually hope to join you a little bit at the F1 because, maybe instead of not starting drinking for breakfast, maybe I can still start, but then during the day, kind of do an every other non-alcoholic drink
Sure.
or take some breaks. And so I can still enjoy my mimosa at my Ultimate X for breakfast.
Right. But can I get this non-alcoholic? Like, you just want orange juice then? Like, okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Can I take a virgin
non-alcoholic mimosa? Yeah. So yeah, I would appreciate people looking out for that kind of stuff because one, I do know it makes me feel better in the morning when I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
Jack, we were talking in the last or in part one about just like starting the day better. You like wake up in Vegas, you're like, what is this feeling? Like, I feel good. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't drink at all yesterday. Since this is new. Anyway, let's get to some group questions here. When are we going to be getting in and where are we staying? I will say that I'm getting in late Thursday, like 11 to 11:30, as long as things are on time, and I will be staying at Waldorf Astoria. So I'm actually making this a non-casino stay, center strip. So I'm staying at Waldorf Astoria, and then I'm switching over to Vidara after one night there. So I'm going to be interested to see how I enjoy this type of no drinking, no smoking in my hotel, no gambling in my hotel.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a Virgin Vegas trip right now.
Well, we'll have to make it up with the gambling. I get in late Thursday as well. Not as late, I think 9:30, 10 o'clock or so. I'm wondering because we're staying at Venetian for those first 3 nights. And I've been trying to figure out where I want to get dropped off because that will be the practice route. So I think it's going to be best to actually get dropped off at Wynn and then haul our luggage through Wynn over to Venetian.
I've been thinking the same thing because I'm also at Venetian the first 2 nights. I'm not in Thursday night. I don't get in until Friday night around 8 p.m. But I am going to be trying to get a car to Venetian. Hopefully they have some plans and we can just kind of trust the driver's judgment because they'll have been dropping people off at various hotels, even ones that are trapped inside that race circuit all day. But I'll say, like, look, if you were picking between 2 options and one is more annoying, but it's closer, and the other is like easier, but it's a longer walk, just give me the longer walk, right? Like I can schlep my luggage as far as I need to.
That's probably the best. I mean, there will be access. They have to for emergency services. So every place will have
I'll
road
just tell him it's
access
an
to it.
emergency. I need to get to the Venetian.
Yeah, look at me. He's all out of syringes in his little fanny pack. Like, look at that. I'm down to my last one. You will have that option. That's probably a good way to do it, though. I will be dropped off right at Waldorf Astoria because I'm landing at a very perfect time at a place that is not on the racetrack, really. So,
lucky. I was thinking maybe I should just leave now, like just go out sooner, a week and a half early to avoid the traffic.
This is gonna be your first 40th birthday trip, and then you do your 2 other ones.
So one thing I did do for Friday is, I talked about this a bit earlier on in the run of this show. And then I've kind of taken cabs the last few times I've been in Vegas. I'm back to having a private car booked for Friday night. It was only about, even with like F1 prices or whatever. I mean, their pricing is always kind of dynamic, but it was only like $20 more than it normally would be, which the cabs have also raised their rates for the F1 weekend. I know that they got an exemption to their normal flat rates for that kind of stuff. So there'll be higher flat rates that weekend in cabs, which made me feel a bit okay about paying a higher rate for a private car. But the main 2 things I want to do with that are that, one, I want to know that there's just a car there waiting for me so that even if like everything's kind of gone to shit, I don't have to be in like a long cab line or be waiting a long time for an Uber or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, if stuff's going to suck and I'm going to have to just like sit in the car for a while trying to get to my hotel, it might as well be a nicer car, right?
Yeah, I think that's a really good option. I am curious to see what rideshare is going to look like around that time as well. I mean, it's been a notorious mess for like the last year or so at peak time. So that'll be interesting.
Right. Like when I get in Friday night at 8, like there will be race cars on the racetrack, right? Like, so it's going to be wild.
What does something like that run you, like, to get a car? And are there different levels you could get? Like, are you just getting, like, a standard car? Like, could you get a
Yeah.
limo? Could you get, like, a whatever?
Yeah, and I think the fixed costs are pretty high, and the marginal costs of going up from like a sedan to a SUV to a limo and that kind of stuff are not actually that high. Their website's going to quote you like $65. It's not that cheap. I think
Mm.
the cheapest you can actually get an airport pickup for, at least from this service, is like $100 in a sedan, and then you'd probably tip like $20 on top of that. So that'd be like where I'd start your like mental, is this going to be worth it, is kind of around that price point.
And so you both will be staying at Venetian Palazzo because I tricked you into thinking that I was staying North Strip, and I canceled those plans. But Low Country Vegas on Twitter asks a good question. Why doesn't Venetian Palazzo have an app?
Boy, I wish I could answer that question.
Why do they need an app?
I don't
They need
know.
an app.
So that way I can
You
see what
check your tier credits.
check my tier credits, book my shows, book my room. Sorry,
Book your room.
You book my room.
I don't know. I
room
feel
service.
like
That's the word I was looking for.
I think too many things these days have an app when it could just be a website.
This is a guy who was bewildered by a fax machine last episode, and now we're going too fast with the app thing. Like, they should have
Most
had an
apps, you know, it's like when you have a meeting that should have been an email. Apps are, it's just like, this should have been a website.
Hard disagree, because when, like, for instance, at MGM, when you're doing like the tier accelerator thing, I'm able to check in real time how many tier credits I've earned for that particular day.
But they could
And
just have put that on their website. The fact that they squirreled it away in their app.
No, it's on both. But I don't want to. If I'm
there you
on the
go.
floor, I don't want to go to their web. I don't want to go to Google Chrome or DuckDuckGo and type in www and like go through the whole thing. Like, just have it on the app. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm with Adam. I want
Thank
the
you.
app. Give me the app.
All right.
So there's nothing we can do, Jack, to convince you to get in on Thursday instead of Friday, or even earlier on Friday.
My people are monitoring the situation, and if it does look like travel is bad that Friday, and as of the time of recording, we're still about like 10 days out, I'd be willing to try to book an earlier flight that day, or like stand by an earlier flight or something like that. But right now, it's going to cost me a fair bit of money to switch to an earlier flight, and I'd be in like a worse fare class, and I'd have to take an extra day off work, and I'd have to hang out with y'all for longer.
I mean, you won't see me until like Sunday, so you're at no risk there.
No, Adam is like, hey, the race is going on. We can't come down to that end of the strip. Like, you can still walk. Like, they're not racing on the sidewalks.
You guys can walk towards me. That's a great plan. Speaking of which, so Friday plans. Like, again, I don't know why we want Jack to come in, because like Thursday, I'm going right to bed. You're gonna get in late, and we're like pressuring Jack to come hang out for like an hour and a half and get out of his economy plus seat. So what are your actual plans on Friday that are so important? Because I see you're going to get a shave at Canyon Ranch. Does Jack need to be around for that?
I was really hoping Jack would join me. I am going to go to Canyon Ranch Spa. I have it booked right now. I usually like to go to the barber shop at Cosmo when I'm staying at MGM and use some of the resort credit at that location. I really like it. I usually do the full haircut and shave. However, the full haircut and shave at the barbershop at Canyon Ranch at Venetian was going to be like over $210, then it plus tip and everything, and that's like $50 more than what it would be, which I'm already overpaying for in my mind.
It's like $1 per hair for me.
It's like but so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get I like to have a nice clean like beard trim and shave. Makes me feel like I'm ready to hit the town. So I'm gonna do that kind of first thing in the morning on Friday. By first thing I mean like 9 a.m. And then this is the day that I don't have any real big dinner plans. So, mainly because all of my friends aren't there yet. Because Jack's not there yet. Well, you're not there. You're at some smoke-free, casino-free, kid-free, all free things.
I'm just kind of like a submarine helmet on. Like, no one don't blow smoke at me. Don't get near me.
So there is but I am going to go to qualifying. Going to see what kind of food they're offering there in the area that I'm gonna be in. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing on Friday while Jack's working, and I'm sending him all the 4 aces 12x pictures.
Yes. Friday, I'm going to get the pancakes at Waldorf Astoria because I saw on Stalking the Strip, his Facebook page, they're like really thick pancakes. I'll have a breakfast credit there. So I can't drink anymore. So I'm oddly looking forward to pancakes at this point. That's how desperate I am for things to look forward to. Like maybe they put some like rum raisin stuff in here so I can like just a little bit of alcohol.
Have them.
Right. just wet the beak a little bit. But actually, yeah, I don't know what my Friday plans are because I will go. There is I believe there's an academy race that afternoon, and then the qualifying at night. So I'll probably, I'll go to Park so no one's still smoking near me, and probably play some video poker there. But I imagine I'll head over to Shandy. My brother and his wife will be in town. My sister will be on the Strip, and my buddy Jaron will be in town. So it'll be great. After all that, we're gonna have an after party. Not we. There's a after party that's going on the record at Park MGM. I've never been there in my life until this year, and I'm twice in like 3 months. I'm going, so I believe James, you and Kim might come down for that.
Hoping to join. We're gonna walk down. It might take us. I heard we got to go all the way around the track just to get there. It's not like go over. So, but we'll be there. Do we? Kim is very concerned that she doesn't know any information, like for like what she should wear or like how long of a nap she should take beforehand. And I told her she'll find out when she finds out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about her nap habits, so I can't really speak to that. I would say it's Vegas, so if you have sleeves on, you're probably adequately dressed. I will probably be in my F1 gear unless I'm told not to. So I think it's okay. I think it's generally accepted that casual gear is going to be okay.
Oh, well, we won't be casual. We're going to dress up a little bit for this weekend.
All right, then I will dress down so that
Perfect.
Everybody's kind of evened out. And then Friday, Jack, you arrive when?
I get in around 8. And so I'm going to have missed dinner. I'm going to miss the qualifying portion of the race, and I'm going to go straight to bed. No, it's going to depend on what my friends are up to, because I know my buddy Ryan's going to be in town. He's going to get in Friday morning, but I think he's going to try to put in some play at Red Rock during the day to get on the Station Casino's radar. So he'll come back to Venetian in the evening, maybe around dinner time. I'll either see him or Duffy or my buddy Brian, or I'll find a place to gamble for a few hours before I go to bed.
And this is where it gets a little bit weird for us, because we all have friends that are going to be out there, but not friends that are mutual between all of us, right? So like Jack, you have a friend or two that are coming out. James, you do.
Sure, I don't. It's just me and Kim.
I thought you had another friend who's in our WhatsApp group then.
Oh yeah, Dan, you're right. Sorry, friend of the pod, Dan. But he's staying downtown. He doesn't count.
To be fair, he was kicked out of the WhatsApp group for about 38 minutes. So,
oh yeah, no, Dan's staying downtown.
Oh, that's right, downtown Dan. Yeah,
downtown Dan.
Okay, so we're as a group, we're trying to make plans for like a bunch of people who like we know each other, a bunch of people who don't know each other. But anyway, so Saturday plans. Who's going on a walk with Jack?
It seems like maybe too many people. I'm gonna have to do do a lottery for who gets to come with.
I think someone says it's gonna be like Forrest Gump, just picking up people along the way. Yes. Like eventually it's gonna be like when he's in Utah or whatever. It's just Jack's just gonna stop. Like I feel like going home now.
I don't know why this makes me giggle. I hope there's like 6 of us all just walking down the Strip, and Jack's just annoyed at us.
Yeah, we got to get him a Bubba Gump shrimp hat.
The good news is I can always just try to start walking faster and see how that does for me. But no, my only concern is that at some point I'm going to be up really early, and if y'all are going to like a nightclub for a F1 hosted after party, that doesn't sound like an event that ends early.
That's true.
And so, yeah, we'll see if I see you in the morning or not.
Yeah,
but it's a long walk. You can catch me on the other way around.
Yeah, Kim says she's most likely out. She's like, "There's no way I'm waking up for that," and that's probably me too. But I'm gonna try.
So, Jack, are you gonna swing down to like Cosmo?
We're doing the whole Strip.
Are you going to swing down one side? I'll meet you at Cosmo at at Shandy for a little bit.
Yeah, no, we'll keep in touch.
Okay,
I'll live tweet my location. It's not true,
and maybe I'll make it back to or up to Venetian Palazzo at some point. I know there's a possibility of cigars, James. That was the idea. I obviously can't because I'm going smoke free the entire trip.
Yeah. But I want to check out the cigar lounge there. It's awesome there, Venetian Palazzo, high limit room. So hoping to do that.
But so for Saturday, I don't have a plan currently for what I want to do for lunch. And so I have two kind of competing things. You thought I was trying to bring up a topic.
I didn't know you were transitioning. I thought you were just complaining to us.
I'm thinking either, and well, now Adam's going to be mad because I'm going to say Bouchon is an option for what we might do.
It's like also Pee Wee Herman's word of the day. Like everyone just has to scream.
I also really do want to check out the food hall there at Venetian. At least there's so many. They open with 6-7 different restaurant concepts, and it's like it's going to take you a lot of lunches to even just try most of them. I don't know. I'll probably just pick one that looks good and give that a go for lunch.
So I was thinking about it, and we have reservations rather early, right, for dinner.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm gonna even maybe just a heavier breakfast brunch. So maybe Bouchon would be good.
Yeah, we might as well talk about some of our food plans, even if it gets us out of order with some of these things.
Yeah, that's true.
Saturday, to get people to the race on time, we're doing a group of us having dinner at Estiatorio Milos, where I had lunch back in August and was a big fan of it. And it's been on the Vegas Strip for a while. It was at Cosmo. Now it's between Venetian and Palazzo. That's, just another Mediterranean seafood place, but they have a pretty wide menu of options, and we're going to get in at around 5:15 so everyone can get to their stuff for the race on time. I think that's going to be really great.
I guess I forgot to mention on Friday, I do have reservations with Duffy and Kim to do a late lunch at Yardbird because of all their gluten-free options. So Kim has celiac and needs to eat gluten-free, or else her intestines decide to eat themselves. And she has bad gas, but she doesn't like when I say that part. And
keep that in.
Yeah, definitely keep that in.
We'll keep that in.
And they have the fried chicken that's gluten-free, which will be good. Yeah, so I forgot to mention that on Friday. Yum, yum.
We have a growing list of food and alcohol concerns in our group, and
so much.
It's going to be making things difficult. I have no plans for Saturday. I think I'm actually looking forward, on Friday and Saturday, having nothing set in the books besides.
I can't. I actually think I might not see you. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've said that, right? I don't, because I am going to go to the Academy race on Saturday too, which is that takes up a huge chunk of time between that and the race. I don't want to be going back and forth. But Sunday, which we can get to. Who's going for a walk with Jack on Sunday? Because Saturday night, there's another after party we'll probably be going to. At least one of us or two of us, maybe on this pod. So anyone going for a walk with Jack on Sunday?
It depends on if maybe I'll still be up. Maybe that's how good the after party will be. Is Jack will be at 6 a.m. Hey, anyone to come for this walk? And I'm going to be
hell yeah, let's
grab me a Celsius and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday's kind of a tough day for us because we've got the football slate starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. James and I, at least, do have to change hotels around, probably around noon, at least check out around noon. So we have to navigate that. Plus with, kind of where do we want to be that day? Do we want to be kind of doing the checkout dance at our former hotel? Or do we want to try to move over to the upcoming hotel early and start playing there and get that handy at the Shandy?
I mean, you could put your stuff in my room. That is an option because it will be somewhat close.
I like it.
That is true. I do have a small offer to pick up at Wynn. It's only $100.
How does it compare to the offer Adam just gave you? Is it bigger or smaller than that?
It's a much better offer because it includes free play. I've got $100 free play. And I think it's $25 or $50 resort credit.
Do you have a stay booked at Wynn to get this?
Yes, I have a stay booked at Wynn. So I booked. So the initial plan was Venetian and then Wynn because someone on this pod was staying North Strip the entire time.
Yep.
Then when they moved and I was able to get the comp room at Cosmo, I moved over to Cosmo, and then I went online to cancel the Wynn room, and it said you need to call to cancel this. And I said, well, that's too much work. So instead,
I'm walking there.
I'm just instead at some point which ends up being okay because we'll talk about the dinner plans. But at some point, I'm just going to go over there, check in, run $100 probably through dollar single line video poker if I can find decent, take my $70 or whatever I'll get out of that, and then grab a snack or a couple drinks and put it on the room and then leave. Like I'm just going to no play them again for like the 4th time in 2 years.
Just get a boatload of Fijis. And see if they have the Fiji holder. Have you seen that at Wynn?
No, I've not seen the Fiji holder.
If you go to like SW or something or Sinatra or whatever, like they have, because they've got the big, I don't know what size it is, Fijis, but they also have special Fiji holders where you can put it in. So it's like almost like silver looking. They plop them right in there. I actually went to Fiji's website. They have them on there. You can buy them there too, because I was so intrigued by it.
So we have whatever James is giving away that he and Kim are cooking up. We've got our little nubs, and then we're going to have our handy at the shandy Fiji water tabletop.
Look at our merch line.
I can't wait. And I believe You Can Bet on That is going to put our merch on their website.
We have one of the best hypothetical merch lines of any podcast.
It's fantastic. Man, it's good. So you're going to be doing that. You've got a dilemma of whether or not you go see a 100-year-old movie.
So Kim has been really excited about going to see.
Well, I like Kim. I don't want to bet.
Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, and the only time that really works for our trip right now is 2 p.m. on that Sunday.
That's fine.
Well, here's the thing, right? So if we sleep in at all, and let's say we check out at like 11, is it worth it to drag? Because I'm not gonna we're gonna be gone from State College. We're gonna be gone for like 13 days almost, because it's 12 days. So I don't know why I said 13 days almost. It's 12 days.
It was almost.
It was. You're right.
No one here challenged you either. You could have just left it.
I could have just left it.
Leave that in.
We're gone for a while, so we're gonna have like huge ass suitcases, but we're still gonna clearly walk, because I'm not gonna take anything. Like I'm not gonna take an Uber like for 10 hours. I think that to get over to check in at Cosmos. So like, do I want to go over there early and then kind of come back, or do I just want to go there and be able to play more at the Shandy? And this is where we've landed, is I want to hang out with my friends at the Chandelier Bar and try and get a handy at the Shandy. Kim wants to go to the Wizard of Oz at Sphere. So I think it's going to be a game time decision on how we're feeling and how we're doing. So a lot of stuff is up in the air for that Sunday morning for us.
I mean, for this podcast to continue, I think in part we need to keep Kim happy.
That's true.
So I think this is a small sacrifice that you can make, because I feel like Sunday night Cosmos where we're going to be. Like I'll be at Fedara, Jack will be at Cosmo, my buddy Jaron, I don't know if I can spill his business, he'll be at Caesars. We're gonna be there. I don't see anything major happening.
That is true, but my fear is that we're gonna have a dinner reservation that night. It's gonna go pretty long, and Jack goes to bed at 10 p.m. We've already established.
I do anticipate. I'm hoping that I get to be kind of the party pooper and go to bed early. Again, you don't need me to have a good time. In fact, probably could have a better time with me absent.
We've established that
just going to be you're still just going to be complaining if I want to go to bed at a reasonable hour. That's my prediction. But like James said, I think we do have this is our kind of largest group dinner. We're going to try to do that Sunday night. We have a big reservation at the new location of Bizarre Meat at Palazzo. And I had no idea that, until people kind of shared this recently, that the construction that they're doing in the Palazzo atrium, getting rid of that big statue and kind of stuff, was related to the Bizarre Meat opening.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They replaced the statue with two escalators up and down. There's a hole in the floor of the lobby where that statue used to be, kind of, or whatever used to be right there near the hotel registration, because there's still kind of two atriums there. So I know that I might be getting wrong exactly what's missing, but there's definitely a brand new hole in the ground, and it's kind of remarkable.
I thought they just put a statue of Jose Andres right there.
Yeah,
see if anyone noticed,
or just meats.
Oh, great! That's Sunday.
That's Sunday, and so we are going to have to take a break from our shandying to head back up there for that. But
so that's what I sent Kim. I said, look,
honey.
Look, honey, no. If we end up doing the Wizard of Oz and it's at 2, and we're checking out Venetian like 11:30. Maybe we can get a little bit later. Isn't it just going to be best to just check our bags at the Bell and stay north side of the Strip,
All
gamble a
day.
little more at Venetian Palazzo, maybe even like walk over to Wynn at that point if they can get an early check-in,
Yeah.
and then like check in at go to Sphere and then check in at Wynn, get whatever, and then just stay there for the 6 p.m. Like that's why I think that 2 o'clock's like. Now we could pay an extra $30 each and go at I think it's 10:30 or maybe it's 11 a.m. on Saturday.
On Saturday.
But that's really weird on Saturday.
I don't know.
What's that weird?
I don't know, because like going to a movie at like 10 a.m. is a little weird, and it's more money, even though it's one spin. Basically.
Yeah, it's one spin. I'll pitch in $5.
So
I'll pitch in whatever to get you out of my hair on Saturday. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So there's possible, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're going to do, which is good, because what we're going to do is we're going to have all these plans that we say that we're going to do. And then when we do this trip report in a few weeks, none of this stuff happened.
Well, that's why we're putting so much work into this pre-trip report, is we know that none of it is going to be redundant with what we talk about in 2 weeks.
Well, let us know in the comments what you think. I'm sure podcasts have comments, and do that. But Monday, we also have plans. And I think we've been debating, this is not a joke, of going to Silverton. By me, I mean me and James, because Jack is being a boring fuck right now and not willing to branch out and do anything different at the behest of our podcast listeners. No, they're not behesting. I'm behesting just for the pod. But there's an executive host on Twitter who's just joining the community, trying to get people out to Silverton. And James,
so excited about this because I just love when people are hustling.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, Frank, executive casino host, he made a post that said, "If you've never been here, DM me." And I was like, I'm going to DM. I was like, I've never been there. And we've been chatting, and he's like, "Hey, you guys should come on out, and we'll get you some lunch, even if you're only here for a couple hours." And I was like,
He sounds kind of like my cabbie from last.
I'll take it for lunch. I have no idea how he sounds, because I've just been communicating via Twitter DM. But that's just what I'm guessing every executive host in Vegas sounds like.
Yeah, and I just like that he's just putting himself out there. I don't want anything free from him, but it's like, all right, you're going after it. Like you said, you're hustling a little bit. Cool. I'll go check out Silverton. It's, whatever. We'll take a cab over, Uber over. I'm sorry, Jack, for what I said about you earlier. I take a little bit of it back, but I'm primed and ready to go to Silverton for like some early morning video poker at that Mermaid Bar or whatever it is that they have. But Jack is really, putting his feet down and saying no to new experiences, because he only wants this podcast to focus on a couple things.
I think one thing for me is that on my last day in town, I really like to play the hits. Like, I want to spend my last of 3 days in Vegas doing the things that I know I want to do, right? Like, if I know if I want to put in something weird on the schedule, I'm going to do it on one of the first 2 days. And then I'll try to leave the last day as open as possible, and not open so that I can do new and interesting things, open so that I can get stuck at a video poker bar and not feel bad about it because there was nothing on the schedule. And so if you were like, yeah, we're doing Silverton like first thing Saturday, like I'd be a lot more inclined to be in on it.
Those words have never been uttered before, by the way.
Well, maybe if you got in a day earlier, we could fit some of that stuff in.
Friday morning, just get a shave at Canyon Ranch Spa.
All signs are pointing to me showing up Friday morning, except for my actual itinerary, which is not pointing in that direction.
So Monday's up in the air. Maybe Silverton. If we do, I'd want to swing by Durango, because if we're out, we're out. Might as well swing by and again see something that's new.
I do want to see Durango.
Okay, so would you come out for that if we do early? Okay, son of a bee. All right.
Oh man, what content we're gonna have for the pod?
Yeah, Jack was sitting alone drinking bitters at Shandy for 8 hours while we went out and had a little adventure. Is basically what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We have different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are staying that night though, right? Like, I'm leaving. Kim and I have to. We're driving out because Kim's family lives about 4 hours away in Southern California, so we're gonna drive out there and spend the rest of that week with them for Thanksgiving. That's why I was saying I'm gonna be gone for such a long time. So I think we're want to be on the road by the latest 4:00 so we can get in for a late dinner with her family. But you guys get that whole day, and that makes me jealous, even though like I'm going to be there earlier. I'm still jealous whenever anyone's there and I'm not.
Well, that's what I mean, Jack. Like, we'll have plenty of hours to play the hits, right? We just have to figure out dinner plans for Monday. We're trying to solidify that right now.
Yeah, so
But
listeners can't see this, but Adam has like a kind of comically large red novelty phone on his desk that if you don't have to dial it, you just pick it up, and it's the president of Bellagio on the other line. You know, kind of like a Batman sort of vibe.
it's not the president, but yes, we're close.
So what's the status of our Monday night dinner reservation?
Status is we're working on it still. Everything's booked up, but we're trying to figure things out. If we can't, I think we should book something else just in case we're not able to secure that.
So yeah, I was going to float as some backup options. I was thinking about this earlier today.
Okay, good.
My two favorite places that I haven't been, at least comically recently, that I will always like going are Roy Choi, Best Friend at Park MGM. I don't think I would ever say no to that. I could probably go there every trip and be happy with that. And then Haleo at Cosmo, another Jose Andres spot. Maybe if we're doing Bizarre Meat, we don't do Haleo. That's probably a pretty obvious thing to point out.
I mean, I've been to Haleo more recently than I have Best Friend, so maybe that's kind of the option there.
But that would also just be my suggestion. I'd be open to any others. I'm always down to go to places I haven't been. It's just like some of them are tough to get into sometimes. Like the Chinese restaurant at Aria, Blossom. Like, and it's not easy to find. It's kind of tucked away kind of near the Baccarat back there. And every time I've tried to go there, which to be clear is 3 times, which is, I don't know, it's not none. They've been like, it's a 80-minute wait. And so, yeah, there's all sorts of stuff I'd be open to that night if we can't get in at the brand new Carbone Riviera at Bellagio.
Sure thing.
I just completely checked out for that conversation because I'm not going to be there.
You're just going to be mad.
I'm going to be driving to California being like, man, we could have just stayed for one more night. And then Kim's going to be like, we were there for 5 days. We can go visit my family for a couple. And I'm like, you're right. How close is Yamava? And it's just like, 10 minutes down the road.
Well, I think that's going to about do it then. That's our F1 plans. We're all really excited to go, even if Jack's not showing it or expressing it with his voice on this podcast.
I'm excited.
Okay,
I'm excited to go.
Okay, calm down.
There's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a big crew. And so there will be, I do kind of wonder for some of these times we plan on playing at a video poker bar, just like how many people we're going to try to have at one of these bars, but we can splinter off and, do whatever.
Speaking of that, like we're not going to have any sort of like official meetups, but we'll be tweeting out when we're playing at different locations. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think the big day potential for that is probably going to be Sunday, most likely. But we'll be kind of broken off into smaller groups. But Sunday, maybe Monday, be our best time for that. We'll let you know when James and I are in our mermaid outfits and taking a dip in the tank. That's got to be a podcast special at some point where we convince. I mean, you can do that. You can sign up.
Kids can do that certainly.
No, adults can do it too. I perused the Silverton website after all this was going on Twitter. So
I don't go to websites. I only go to the app.
Does Silverton have an app where you can sign up for mermaid lessons?
I'll find out.
Yeah, let's do that.
Put a link in the show notes.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a good time. If you're going to be out there, let us know. Hop in the DMs or leave a comment, whatever it is. But we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to sharing the trip report when we get back as well. So for episode 10, part 2, Handy at the Shandy, I'm Adam the Fraud, Table James Games, and Boring Jack. Thanks for listening.
Take care, y'all.